The other day I was scrolling on the GitHub landing page when I saw this amazing card effect, and I thought to myself, how on earth did they do something so epic? As with any problem, to unearth how it's done, it will be necessary to break it down into smaller problems. From what I can see, they are 3. Problem number 1 is the card, problem number 2 is a gradient following our mouse, and third we have a perspective effect going on that distorts the card based on the position of the mouse. I'm not going to lie, that third effect looks like a bit of math, and that scares me. So like any normal human being, let's procrastinate the hard parts to last. Problem number 1. Create a card. Set a height, a width and a background color so we can see what we are working with. Round the edges and give it a thin light border. The card seems to be made up of 2 sides, a left side with a text and a link and a right side with an image. We code this using 2 divs, give them 50% width each to divide the space and add display flex to the card together with a note wrap. Let's grab an image from Unsplash and slap it on the right side. I kinda like letting the image go to the edges of the card, so that's what I'm going to do here. Anyway, let's focus on the left side. We have some text here which seems to be broken up in a title and a description. In the bottom of the card we have a link with another fancy animation. We can create the different colors of the text by first setting a base color and then wrap the title in a span that changes the color to white. If we look at the link, we have this border that expands on hover. To create it, we need a link, remove the underline, style it to look like the other text and add an icon to the right. Now to the hover effect. We can think of it as a line, and to create a line we need to have a width, a height and a background color. Since we are using the after class, we need a contents property as well. I think it's just easiest if we make it absolutely positioned and push it below the link. Scale it to 0 and on hover scale it to 1. Give it an ease out timing as well. Whoops, forgot to set the transform origin to the left. Yep, seems like that did the trick. Now we have the card foundation. The next problem we have seems to be a gradient following our mouse around, and I'm thinking that we can use a div that lives inside the card with a gradient background. Using some JavaScript, we should be able to make it follow our mouse. We start by creating the gradient. Let's do a nice blue one and let it end with the background color of our card. Make it big, like 1,000 pixels big. With JavaScript, we can update the transform property to move the gradient to the location of our mouse. It's not centered on the mouse. What if we use our absolute position and move it up and to the left a bit? Perfect, but now it's always turned on, and we only want it to show up when we hover the card. What if we create a class with opacity 1 which we can toggle on and off when we hover the card? Put opacity 0 on the gradient as a default, and once the mouse is inside the card we can add the class. Cool! I think we can tone it down as well. 0.9? Nah. 0.8? Nah. 0.6? That's the spot. The third problem is this amazing perspective thing going on. I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit scared of it. But my math teacher always said, tackle your fears. So that's what we are going to do. Let's begin by giving it some modest perspective and rotation to try it out. 10 centimeters feels like it's a bit too low. 50 centimeters looks pretty good, and 10 degrees actually seems to do the trick as well. Negative 10 degrees looks good too. But from what I can see, rotate X moves the card up and down, while rotate Y moves it left to right. So we need to connect the mouse X axis to the rotate Y and the mouse Y axis to rotate X. Let's put it down in JavaScript. When we are inside the card, we split the card width and height into 20 steps. We should probably save the center location of the card so that we can change between a negative and a positive rotation based on which side of the card we are on. And what if we subtract the x-axis with the card center x and multiply it all with the steps? Alright, not bad, but it seems like we are backwards. What if we subtract card center with the mouse instead? Woohoo! Jackpot! Let's try the same thing with rotate X. Crap, we went backwards again. No sweat, it's an easy fix. We actually did it. If you stayed this long, you're amazing.